Alright, Tom, and my last question for the video is, how is pulling the troops out of Iraq going to affect us? I mean, is it going to be a good thing, a bad thing? Is it going to affect us for the better or for the worse, in your opinion?
Okay, well, pulling troops out of Iraq, the only way that it's going to be a good thing is that if we can allow the Iraqis to stand on their own without our assistance against the current what we see, which is an insurgency and efforts by their neighbors and by extremist Muslim groups in order to undermine their attempts at a democracy there. You have to understand that the extremist Muslim does not want to see a democracy prevail in their region. The simple reason why is beyond the fact of the pros of having a democracy for Muslims and the extreme benefit that having a democracy in Iraq will have for the average people there. Now, I hear from Iraqis all the time thanking us, thanking even Bush for and understanding the whole idea that they would be right now and possibly for forever in the future under the rule of dictatorships if it were not for us going to war over there in Iraq. So regardless if you agree with the war, think it was necessary or not, you should understand that we did do a wonderful thing for the future generations and for the current generation of people in that country. Now, getting to the original question, if we pull troops out of there and we create a scenario where it allows the Iraqi government and a democracy in Iraq to fail, what we're going to see is all of the lives, the bloodshed and the treasure that we spent on the Iraq war, it'll be essentially reduced to being for nothing. Now, you have to put this in context here. We have came so far in Iraq. Not only was, the war there essentially won on the first day, there was an insurgency, yes, which turned out to be the real crux of the problem. But this insurgency has been battled down. It has been, I would not say crushed, but we have made so many strides against it. And today, Iraq, though it has many problems, we have came so far in stabilizing that country. They are just on the brink and verge. Now, they will have a problem in the future, yes. Will they have terrorism inside Iraq in the future? Yes, but they are on the verge of being self-sufficient, and we will truly have succeeded in creating a democracy there. And that will have such a good impact on creating moderacy, establishing moderacy, moderate governments in the Middle East, which, like I addressed earlier, is the most important thing for us to do if we are to combat extremism and the threat of terrorism for us in the United States. Like I said earlier, terrorism doesn't come from something the United States has done a while ago that people are still upset about. Okay, we can point to examples around the world of people who have oppressed others in the past or at some point or done something that people disagree with, and we do not see people strapping bombs to their children or to themselves in order to take out innocent civilians from that other side. The real root cause of terrorism here is extremism, Islam that has been perverted in order to be used by the powers that be within these Muslim states in order to scapegoat hatred against the United States and against Israel. Islam has been hijacked, and it has turned into largely a negative thing. Now, what we need to do, and this is very important, so I want to just finish with this. What needs to occur is for people, Americans, firstly, to understand that it was a right move to do in the midst of 9/11 to go into Afghanistan and to help get the people who did that. Now, if you look at it from this perspective, and it was also the right thing to do, if we want to combat Muslim extremism and combat the root cause of terrorism, to help establish moderacy, to help establish moderate governments in the Middle East, if that truly is, which I am telling you right now, that is truly the key in order to creating an atmosphere there that is not conducive to the creating of terrorism and extremist elements in the Middle East, creating democracies there, then we must succeed in Iraq. We must succeed in Afghanistan as well. It is not only noble causes, it is not only the right thing for us to do post 9/11, but if we can succeed, we will not only benefit the people of that country, we will create two democracies in a region that has not seen democracies, that is in desperate need of freedoms and liberty, and that will have a cross-border effect. People will hear stories of its success and the benefits of democracy, the freedoms that people have on their border in Iraq, on their border in Afghanistan, and they will demand it more in their country. So no, we don't have the resources. No, we cannot invade every country there and turn it into a democracy. But yes, we can encourage democracy there, and if we want to take direct action, we can create democracies there, and by creating creating a successful democracy there, it will have a cross-border effect, and more Muslims will wake up to the possibility of having democracy, having true freedoms. They will help to either moderatize and make more moderate the government that they already have, or overthrow them for a government that actually works for the people and doesn't work for their own interests and create hostilities that need not be against the United States and the state of Israel.
Okay, so Tom, what you're saying is pulling them out is not a good idea.
It will be the day that we can do it, and this is not far off, with knowing for sure that the Iraqi government can stand on its own. I am for it, and I think it should occur. But we need to let them understand, the Iraqis understand, that we will be there for them if for any reason they are under threat to preserve their democracy. We need to let them be aware of that, and I think it would be ridiculous to pull them out entirely. I think there needs to be a precipitated withdrawal, as there has been, where we slowly withdraw more and more. And I think that what needs to happen is that we will get all of our troops out of there, but as long as the Iraqi government needs it, we will have a small presence there in terms of just a small base, such as what we do in other areas, war-torn areas around the world, or areas where democracies we are helping to protect, where we keep a small presence there that is only there in case they really need us, and is there just to help protect that democracy, and then just in case we can always have an opportunity to send more troops in to help protect them. But to get out too early and subject that country to the threat of being overthrown is completely irresponsible, and for all that we have done and everything that we have done to create a democracy in Iraq, which will have such a positive impact on creating a more moderate Middle East, and with a more moderate Middle East we will see less terrorism occur, a direct result of a moderate Middle East being less terrorism. We have done so much, and making a democracy in Iraq is such a great step and great stride. Understand, Iraq is in the heart of the Middle East. If we can create a democracy in the heart of the Middle East, it will have a cross-border effect, as I said earlier. And this is the most important thing we can do right now, is to preserve, because we've came so far, we have nearly won the thing and nearly set up a functioning democracy there that can stand on its own. Don't rush it. Don't be hasty. We have came so far. We are making great progress in Iraq. You rarely hear about it on the news, but if you do your own research, you will find out that we are in a good position there. We have made so much strides. Do not hastily withdraw after we have spent so much of our blood, treasure, and everything else on this noble cause.
All right, Tom, thanks for talking with me today.
Oh, sure thing. Anytime. Just make sure, I'd say to the viewers, just stay current, stay well informed out there.
All right, God bless America.
God bless you too, sir. You're a great American.
If you have any suggestions on any topics, or if you have any questions you would like to ask Tom Holden, please send an email to collegeconservatives09@yahoo.com, and maybe it will be featured in our next video. This is Tyler Ray for America's Real Change. Thank you for tuning in. God bless America.